So, you're dreaming of building your own home here in East Tennessee, right? Maybe somewhere beautiful in Washington County, near Johnson City or Jonesboro. It's an amazing dream to have. But before you even think about picking out floor plans, there's a big first step you got to get right: the financing. And that's what we're going to do today. We're going to break down exactly how construction loans work and give you a clear blueprint to follow.
And isn't that the truth? You can have the most beautiful blueprints in the world, the perfect plot of land, but it all comes back to having that solid financial footing. This isn't just some boring paperwork you have to get through. It is literally the foundation that everything else gets built on. So let's start at the beginning.
All right, first up, let's lay the foundation. What even is a construction loan? Because I can tell you right now, it's a completely different animal from the regular mortgage you'd get to buy a house that's already standing. Okay, so here's the core of it. It's a short-term loan, usually for about a year, maybe 18 months. And its whole purpose is to fund the building of a house that, well, doesn't exist yet. The bank is lending you money based on what the house will be worth when it's all finished. And because of that, you can probably guess the whole process is a little more hands-on for everybody involved. This chart really spells out the difference, doesn't it? With a normal mortgage, the bank has a finished house as collateral right from day one. Easy peasy. But with the construction loan, the collateral, your future home, is being created piece by piece. That's a bigger risk for the lender, and it's exactly why the money comes out in stages and why they're going to want to see all your plans up front. So that brings up a great question. How does the money actually move from the bank to your builder? It's not like they just hand you a giant check for the full amount and say, good luck. No, it's a much smarter system. It's all about what's called a draw schedule. The loan is paid out in these chunks, or draws, as your builder hits major milestones. And here's the brilliant part. Before the bank releases the money for the next stage, they send an inspector to the site to make sure the work is actually done and done right. It's this perfect system of checks and balances that protects you, it protects the builder, and it protects the lender. And here's another really cool feature you'll love: the payments. During the build, you're not paying on the full loan amount. You're only paying interest on the money that's been paid out so far. So your payments start out really small, and they slowly grow as the house gets closer to being finished. This is a massive help, especially if you're juggling rent or another mortgage while you build. Okay, now we're at a big fork in the road. When you start talking to lenders, you're going to hear about two main ways to set up your loan: a one-time close and a two-time close. Understanding the difference here is absolutely key to making the right choice for you. You can see the pros and cons laid out right here. The one-time close is just what it sounds like: one application, one set of closing costs, and you lock in your interest rate for the final mortgage right at the beginning. It's simple, it's secure. The two-time close means you get the construction loan first, and then when the house is done, you shop around for a separate mortgage. You might get a better rate, but you might not. And you have to qualify all over again and pay a second set of closing costs. It really comes down to a classic choice: security versus flexibility. Okay, you've got the concepts down. Now, let's get into the nitty-gritty. This is your practical, step-by-step guide to actually getting this done and breaking ground on your dream home. I cannot stress this enough: the planning phase is everything. Step 1, before you fall in love with a floor plan or a plot of land, is to talk to a lender and get pre-qualified. Know your budget. And I really recommend working with a local lender right here in Washington County. They know the area, they know the builders, their insight is just priceless. Then you can assemble your A-team, your builder, and your land. Now, the application package for a construction loan is, well, it's a beast. It's way more detailed than a standard mortgage application, but for good reason. The lender needs to see everything: the signed contract with your builder, the detailed blueprints, a spec sheet that lists every single material, and a line item budget. This whole package gives them the confidence that you're building a quality home with a solid plan. And once all that hard work is approved, you get to the fun part. You close on the loan, and the builder can finally break ground. From here on out, it's all about watching the process unfold. The builder hits their milestones, the draws and inspections happen right on schedule, and before you know it, you're doing the final walkthrough. At that point, the loan rolls over into a permanent mortgage, and you get the keys to your brand new home. All right, let's do a quick fire round and tackle some of the top questions that always come up when people start thinking about building a new home. This is it, the big one. The question almost everyone asks first: just how much money do I need to have saved up to make this happen? So the general rule of thumb is that lenders want to see a down payment of about 20 to 25% of the total project cost. But
And this is a huge but that's a game changer for so many people. If you already own your land, you can often use the equity in that land as your down payment. That could mean you don't have to bring any extra cash to the closing table at all.
Okay, next up, credit. We already talked about how these loans are a bit riskier for lenders, so naturally the credit requirements are gonna be a little higher. So what score should you be aiming for? As you can see, you'll probably need a score of at least 680 just to get in the game. But honestly, to get the best terms, the best rates, you really want to be shooting for a score of 720 or higher. That tells lenders you're a really solid bet. All right, for all the handy folks and DIY enthusiasts out there, this one's for you. People always wonder if they can save a ton of money by being their own general contractor. It sounds good in theory, but what do the lenders think? I'm just going to give it to you straight. It's highly unlikely. Most lenders just won't do what they call owner-builder loans. Unless you are a licensed, full-time contractor with a long track record, the risk is just way too high from their perspective. So for pretty much everyone, the answer is to hire a pro. So if we boil this whole thing down, what are the real keys to success? It's these three things. 1, planning. Get your financial ducks in a row first. 2, partnership. Your local lender and your builder are your A-team. Choose them wisely. And 3, understanding. Just knowing how this process works, the draws, the inspections, will give you so much confidence. Look, the whole financing part can seem a little intimidating, but when you break it down into these steps, it is a clear, totally manageable process. Building a custom home right here in our corner of Tennessee is such an incredible chance to create something that is 100% you. So now that you have the financial blueprint, the only question left is, what will you build?